Thank you, choir. What a beautiful reminder that we live because He holds the future. Welcome to Central Church. What a delight it is to see you this morning. Welcome to those of you online, but I understand we're having technical difficulties, so whenever you watch this, thank you for coming. And thank you for those that are in the chapel as well. So good to have the choir back, and I just love that song. Thank you so much. The mission of Central Church is to make disciples by loving people and leading them to Christ. If you are a guest with us today, we are so delighted to welcome you. We invite you right after the service to go right across the lobby to the Welcome Center. We have a gift there for you, and then we'll invite you to stay for lunch and a little party afterward. If you would like to know more about Family Camp, Stacy Moore is going to be at the Welcome Center, and she can tell you all the things that are going to happen. This is even for grandparents. So if you have a kid or borrow a kid, you can probably go to Family Camp. Just make sure you have the parents' permission to borrow the child first. That doesn't look good otherwise. Well, today is a day we have looked forward to for a year. Almost a year. That's when I first sent a letter out to you saying I was going to retire. And then Pastor Kim, he got moved to the west side, so he thought I should stay on so that I would be a blessing to the new pastor. And what a blessing I have been. You have an exciting future coming ahead of you with Pastor John and Pastor Aaron and Stacy and Chris, so I am leaving you in excellent hands. And then I'll come back like Pastor Kim, and we will raise just a little havoc, but we'll give you a few months' break. My son Travis and his wife Danielle are here, just wave, so be nice to them. If there's one thing I love, it's parties. And so after the service, there's going to be a party in the fellowship hall. So do come, and I'm sure there'll be some nice comments there. It's a little iffy right now. We're not quite sure. But and then you can give me your wise counsel on how to retire with grace. Well, this morning we're going to hear from some of our previous pastors. Pastor John told me I had the whole service. I could do anything I wanted. And then he said he wanted to talk. And then Pastor Kim wanted to talk. And of course, Pastor David would like to talk as well. We have him on video. So we're going to start with Pastor David. I guess he's going to be there. And then Pastor Kim, and then Pastor John. And then we'll continue with the service.
Well, greetings to my Central Church family and friends, and congratulations to my colleague Sharon on a remarkable run in ministry. Well over 30 plus years of ministry, and 20 plus of those at Central United Protestant Church. You've served so well, and you certainly earned the most beloved role in the hearts and minds of this amazing congregation. No pastor, either senior or associate, nor any staff member, has served as long, and therefore will probably have as long a roast coming after the service today. The very first night that Karen and I met you, Sharon, it was on a Friday evening. It was on the eve of your candidating weekend, and we met you after fresh in from Portland. We met you in the Kennewick Mall there at the food court, and we had a Dairy Queen dinner right out there in the open with everyone. Little did we know that that was your favorite restaurant at that point in time. Anyway, that night we felt an instant connection with you, and we knew that you were fun, funny, relaxed. You were delightful, you were engaging our children in conversation, and you were bubbling over with joy. To quote actress Reese Witherspoon, that you are whiskey in a teacup. You're beautiful on the outside, and you are fierce on the inside. Sharon, of course, you're well known among us because of your poise and your persistence and your professionalism. and also your pleasant personality, a fun, engaging, winsome person to get along with. Sharon, you've always demonstrated the art of being a wise counselor, a strategic thinker, and a team player over the years that we have shared in ministry. We have navigated what seems like hundreds of different dips and detours and landmines along the way, potholes, and making disciples for Jesus Christ is what we were always chasing after. Well, we hope that this next chapter of your retirement is going to be filled with sacred reminders of your life being well spent, of your ministry leadership actually having been ordained from heaven, and that your legacy and the leaders and the volunteers that worked with you will rise up, and they will call you blessed as a woman and as a pastor who, quote, speaks wisdom and faithful instruction on her tongue. That's Proverbs 31:26. Sharon, it's been said that a truly great pastor is hard to find and impossible to forget. You are beloved to God and beloved to us all. Farewell, my friend and colleague.
David's going to be a hard act to follow. I never could alliterate like that. 4 P's in a row. It's hard to think of 4 words that have P's in them. Sharon, it is just an honor to be here to talk today. I'm sure you're nervous about what I might say. I do know a lot of stories. I know some facts that I've been sworn never to share, but you don't need to be nervous. John told me I had to be nice in here. Your son told me that I should try to be nice in here. And you were nice to me when I left, and so I will endeavor as best I can to be nice to you. I think I should begin by sharing a story that maybe starts out feeling not nice, but really is quite nice. And I don't think anybody here knows this. When I was first asked to come and be appointed to Central Church, the district superintendent asked me, well, is there anything I can do to ease your transition, to make it better? And I said, well, I really don't know the church. What would you suggest? And she said, well, the associate pastor, Sharon Withers, she's been really effective, but she's getting a bit old. and perhaps it would be helpful if I transitioned into a younger pastor. And I said, no, I really don't think so. She knows the church. She knows what's going on there. I think she can ease my transition. And I think she'll probably be good enough. And I'll keep her for about a year, and then we'll get a younger pastor. But then I got to know you. I remember I hadn't been here very long at all. And you took me on a tour of what you called your people. We went around to the shut-ins and to the care facilities, and we met your people. And as we sat down with each one, it became quickly apparent that they were your people. You knew them intimately, you knew their stories, you knew their histories, you knew the questions to ask, the things to share, you drew them out, you were laser focused on them, and they felt heard and they felt seen in ways probably some of them very seldom were. And when it came time to leave, you prayed with them. And your prayers encompassed their fears and their needs and their hopes and brought Christ into that room. And Christ was present with each one of those folks in ways that I could not possibly have done. And I walked away from those 2 days of tours saying, you know, she is good enough. And I think I'll keep her. And then it was just reinforced. I remember going to be with a family after an unexpected death, and we walked in, and it was a tough situation, and you immediately took over. You listened, and you shared, and you brought the good news of Christ's resurrection and brought hope into that room. And when you prayed, a sense of peace came that just touched everyone there, brought tears to my eyes. Probably the toughest situation that the two of us were in together that I can talk about here was it was during one of your Christmas teas, and when you're focused on an event, it doesn't matter what that event is. It can be a tea, it can be a lesson, it can be something you're in charge of. You are 100% there, and nobody better distract you, and the whole church had better be on board with you, because it's all about that event, and it's all about you. And then, well, I promised. Okay, I'll stop. And I couldn't help it. And then a call came from the police. And they said that